All right, and we're back here with the Mark Talks for the Raw episode of July 28th, 2025. I'm doing a little different format this week. I'm going to be watching it and then pausing it and then talking about it while it's still fresh on my mind because I end up writing um, pages and pages and pages of notes when I watch it and have to keep pausing it. So maybe this will work better. I'm not sure how it'll sound, but um, so I just finished the first segment. They did a 10 bell salute for recently passed away Terry Bollea, aka Hulk Hogan. Um, some people I saw in there was Nick Hogan was there with his companion, and Eric Bischoff was there as well. Tyson Kidd was actually out there with his wife Natalia. And then we also had other people that you don't get to see often. I think William Regal was in the back there as well. Um, so that's how it started off. They gave us about a 4 minute package. Um, just going over, Hulk's career, showing pictures, and that's where we're at in the video. So, um, the 10 bell salute, we've got everyone, chanting. They chanted Hogan at the end. Big round of applause. And then we're going to be on to segment two. And then we go into segment two, where Jey Uso comes out, and when he does, he always has his double entrance where the crowd chants one more time. Then he plays the thing to want to play his music again and hit the ropes and, admire the adulation of the audience. And except when they started chanting it this time, Paul Heyman came out and interrupted it all. He basically was telling Jey Uso like everything that Roman is telling you is based on a lie. He's turned his back on you before he turned his back on me, and he's saying that he's only telling this because he loves him. There were great moments in this entire segment where first Paul Heyman walks up to the ring. He goes to get in the ring, but halfway through he ends up leaving the ring, so he never fully entered. And um, he tells Jay that, I see that look in your eye, and I've seen that look in your eye before. So I'm just going to get away from here. And then he comically walks backwards down the entranceway pretty far, and then comments that, I know you can dive too. So that was a funny part of that. And there were other funny parts of it. And I'm not really going to go ahead and spoil it. If you want to get a couple chuckles and then also see how serious Jey Uso got at the very end, it was a good segment. It's already been uploaded on YouTube, I'm pretty sure, by the official WWE channel. And yeah, it was a great segment. I would give that a thumbs up. I enjoyed it. I think it is worth going out of your way to hear it, especially if you understand the storyline between the bloodline. Where and Jey Uso does, say that he won the world championship for himself to see, to prove to himself that he could be great. And, it was a very good promo by Jey Uso. So, a great segment, and we're about to see what happens next. So for segment three, we have AJ Styles and the Kabuki Warriors facing up against Dominic Mysterio and Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez of the Judgment Day. We only got an entrance from AJ Styles, and then the ending of the entrance of the Judgment Day due to commercial. We didn't get to see the Kabuki Warriors come out, but you already know the crowd was going wild for them. The WWE Universe loves the Kabuki Warriors. I believe this is their second tag match, or well, yeah. This is a 3-man tag, so um, it's still technically a tag team match. So basically, the story they're trying to tell is that AJ cannot wait to get his hands on Dominic. He cannot wait until SummerSlam. AJ starts the match just so he can get his hands on Dominic soon, and Dominic immediately tags out so that one of the Kabuki Warriors has to come in. There was no official tag made, but they made Asuka come in because AJ Styles got out of the ring and he was going to go around straight to Dominic before the referee warned him not to. It was a normal three-person match, as you would imagine. There was some outside clashing before the end of the match. AJ Styles made pretty quick work of Dominic Mysterio. The match did not last long whatsoever. But Dominic Mysterio did not get much offense in on AJ Styles. So it just goes to show, that maybe at SummerSlam that title is going to change hands unless Dom can get him some help. And one cool thing that happened was AJ Styles actually assisted Kairi Sane to throw her outside of the ring to do an insane elbow on Raquel Rodriguez. And that was actually pretty awesome. And then that kind of squared away for the phenomenal forearm, which he took down Dominic Mysterio with a clean 1-2-3. And the next segment shows that Jackie Redmond is interviewing Sheamus earlier in the day before the show actually starts. Just letting him talk about his victory over Rusev last week. And as he is explaining how he feels, he makes a comment about Big E, and Grayson Waller and the New Day come up behind him, and Grayson Waller basically says, you should be talking about me, Big G, and the New Day. Grayson Waller, I got rid of Austin Theory, I can go ahead and get rid of you. It basically goes into a fight, and it's leading up into our next match. Just this is the backstory behind it, saying that, earlier in the day they had a confrontation, so now they're gonna go have a match. And for me, I'm hoping that Sheamus beats him down pretty good. I don't like Grayson Waller's character. So when we get to the match, Grayson Waller does make his entrance. It's actually a pretty quick match. Sheamus is just dominating him the entire time. Grayson Waller does get some bad guy moves in, so that was his offense as far as that goes. But Sheamus made a pretty quick match out of it. Towards the end, Rusev came in to cause a distraction from the brogue kick, which Sheamus clotheslined him before he could even get in the ring and do anything. And then Grayson Waller went for the roll-up pin, and Sheamus kicked out at 2, ended up getting the brogue kick, won the match, and then that's when Rusev came in and started beating him with his shillelagh and put him in the accolade. And while this is happening, the audience is cheering, "We want Lana," which is Rusev's manager or wife. Again, I'm not 100% sure how that even goes, but that's sideline. I don't really care about personal stuff, just the character itself. So I think she's his manager. I could be wrong. So that is how that ended. It's basically building up to another Sheamus and Rusev match. The next segment, we have Jackie Redmond coming in with Naomi, our women's champion, and she's asking, Naomi how she feels about having to go up against the some of the two best women in the WWE, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. She basically just lambasts her and saying, "Why would you ask me something like that? You can bring anybody in here and I will take them." So basically Naomi's just throwing, just doing a promo saying, hey, I'm really good and I can beat all these people, and that they need to proceed with caution. But when she says it this time, the crowd chants it with her. So it looks like Naomi is really becoming a crowd favorite as champion, which just speaks a lot about her character and what she's doing because the crowd loves Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. So just the fact that they're behind her, knowing who her competition is, that's a really good sign, that they're doing very well with the division right now, with these three leading it. And then the whole Jade Cargill story too, like that's a cool thing about Naomi, is that she has simultaneous storylines going. So big props to Trinity Fatu. That's very awesome for her. I can't wait to see the SummerSlam match. And then into the next two segments. So they do another little tribute to Hulk Hogan, where they have the WWE superstars just saying, what Hulk was as far as a pop culture icon, and, one of the biggest wrestlers. And it didn't last, it was only a couple minutes. And then they went backstage over to Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman, just going over what Jey Uso had said earlier in the night about not having a leader. But Braun says, don't worry about this. We've got this. And it all starts tonight with you destroying him, because Bronson Reed is going to be facing Jey Uso tonight. And the next segment is Lyra Valkyria is in the ring, and she's doing a promo on Becky Lynch ahead of their match at SummerSlam. She's basically, given the stakes, saying that if she loses, she can't challenge for it as long as Becky's champion ever again, but that she has the upper hand because she has seen everything Becky Lynch has done, but Becky hasn't seen everything that Lyra has done. She's basically putting me and the entire audience asleep with this long, drawn on, boring promo. Becky's music hits, and she is standing behind Lyra Valkyria in front of the announce desk with a kendo stick. And Lyra Valkyria, after noticing that Becky's not coming from the entranceway, hits the ropes and does a diving attack. Well, she doesn't dive on her, but like a kind of like a drop kick, kind of a sliding drop kick. Yeah, I'll say that. And that basically starts a little brawl that they have, where Becky basically just gets beat up a lot with the kendo stick. She doesn't get much offense in. And all I can think is I don't root for Becky Lynch much, but this time I am. And that was that segment. And the next segment goes to a interview that Corey Graves was interviewing Sami Zayn about the match with Karrion Kross, is what I meant to say. And I would say 2 questions into the interview, Karrion Kross crashes the interview, tells Sammy, you're finally going to say that I was telling the truth all along, that you are no better than anyone else, and that as long as he does that, he'll leave him alone to let him go accomplish his goal of being a champion. And Sami Zayn just says basically that he's going to win at SummerSlam, make no doubt about it, and then he will make Karrion Kross say that Karrion Kross was wrong. And this storyline has been going on for so long. It's almost like you almost kind of forget what the original premise was, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I do like the storyline. I'm kind of worried what's going to happen with Karrion Kross after SummerSlam. When this match culminates, what is he going to go on to next? I would like to see more of him. Then after that, it goes into a commercial break, and we come back to Jackie Redmond interviewing Bayley. Bayley says she lost her chance at the tag team championship. She lost her chances at the Intercontinental Championship, and she's just kind of lost, and she doesn't know where she's at right now. And then she basically just says she really doesn't have much to say, and then walks away. So I guess they're building for possibly maybe even a heel turn. Maybe she's going to come back as a bad guy, or who knows? Maybe she's going to try to reinvent herself in another way. But as most people have been in WWE as long as Bailey has, the crowd is gonna like whatever she comes out with. Crowd favorite, people are gonna support it regardless. And so will I. I'll be glad to see what Bailey's doing next. And then in the following segment, we get a 8-man tag match with Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Vicaire, and Nikki Bella. And they are facing Naomi and Chelsea Green with the Secret Service, which is Piper Niven and Alba Fire. This actually was a very good match. You get everything you would expect, that outside brawls, the high flying, the 2-on-1 moves, the 1-on-2 moves, the surprise pins. There was actually a point in the match that it looked like Chelsea Green's team was going to win, and they didn't. And the victors of this match were the team of Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Vicaire, and Nikki Bella. It was another good segment. Raw has been really good so far tonight. I'm liking the direction that they're going. They're playing up the SummerSlam feuds and matches. So far it's been satisfying. And now we're gonna be on to see what's happening next in the show. And the next match that we have up is the Judgment Day tag team champions versus the LWO of Walking Wild and Cruz. I forgot the rest of his name. My apologies. Finn Balor and JD McDonough representing the Judgment Day. Before this happens, they have a backstage skit where Finn Balor basically declares, like, the new day is here and we're here to stay. Keep your chin up even though you lost earlier. He tells Dominic not to worry about, coming out to the match or whatever. He says, just go ahead and backstay here and play video games or something. And then Roxanne Perez gives Dominic Mysterio what looks to be a Nintendo Switch. I think that's what one looks like. I'm not sure. And I'm not a big gamer. And when that happens, Raquel says, who else likes to play WWE 2K25 is Liv. And Dominic says, well, let's just FaceTime her then. So that's how the match started, and that's how the match ended. And it ended with the Judgment Day retaining their titles. It was a really good match. We did have a appearance by El Grande Americano, but he was neutralized by Dragon Lee, and then a second one came in a jumpsuit and helped Finn and JD McDonough retain. So that was a really good match. It was awesome, continuing to build the El Grande Americano storyline. It was just really cool to see. I would suggest checking that out. And the next segment we get is going to be Gunther and CM Punk basically having a promo battle in the ring, telling each other, what they're going to do to each other, who's going to come out the victor at SummerSlam. Great segment. As always, CM Punk and Gunther are really great on the mic, respectively. I would say watch this one on YouTube for sure. Like most promos, it's probably already uploaded on WWE official YouTube. So that would be my suggestion, is to check that out right after you watch the Paul Heyman skit. One of the reasons why I like wrestling so much is not so much the in-ring of the match, but the story of the match, the soap opera of the match, the lead up, the intensity, the programming that we get, the packages, the promos in the ring. I really, really enjoy those, and Gunther is so great at them, as well as CM Punk is great at them as well. So I would definitely check that one out. And this is where we get to the main event, which is Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed. The match was basically cut short due to Braun Breaker's interference. Roman Reigns went in to come and make the save. The crowd was very into it. The crowd loves whenever Roman Reigns comes in. They were ready for the match. We pretty much, it was determined. We all knew this was going to end up in some type of interference or something. With Braun Breaker's group and as well as respectively the Bloodline, there is just a bunch of interference. So we were kind of expecting that. And what was not to be expected was that on the at the end of the match, we see, the end of the entire segment, we see that Roman Reigns and Jey Uso laid out with both Braun standing over him. So that was kind of weird. You usually don't see Roman, looking, you know, like he was in pain. Usually we get left off in a good note with Roman Reigns, or he's standing in the ring proud and strong. So this was definitely a different type of way that we're going to see these two. So my all thoughts on Raw tonight was that Raw was another good show. It is the last Raw before SummerSlam, so it's did a great job in trying to tell the stories that he needed to tell before we go into SummerSlam, so people are excited for the pay-per-view, so that we're ready for the event. We know what to expect, and also know not to expect anything, because anything can happen. So another great episode of Raw. So, and then that, I guess, concludes the Mark Talks for this episode. Again, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff that everyone says. I was satisfied with Raw. If you get a chance, you should watch it in full if you didn't get that chance to. Available on Netflix. I'm really, really liking Raw on Netflix as a whole. So, again, thanks for watching. Until next time.